Welcome back to the Packers Corner. Fall is nearly upon us. I'm excited to be back with you gentlemen here, or at least I was until that preseason game. I don't know. We'll have to hash that out a little bit here. Dad, how's the summer been treating you so far here?
Oh, we love this summer. We're just on a slow burn. Let the football come. It is coming, and my chemistry is changing. I can feel the winds of change blowing through. But I just want it to go nice and slow, especially in the advent of that debacle that we watched a couple days ago. But we're able now. We let a few days to go by. We're able to gain a little perspective. But I am going to be in overreaction mode for a little while. So we can get into that probably after your all-star intro there.
Yeah, well, and we're excited to be joined by Schmity back again, much loved and vaunted by the Packers Corner faithful. Schmity, you're bleeding over there, I hear. How's summer? Why are you wounded? What's going on?
We thought the toasters were the only thing that could keep me down, but no, it's also butter knives dropping from the counter and hitting my toe and now bleeding profusely. So we're going to get into form here soon. I'll be able to get nimble on my feet, start dodging those kind of things. I just need to see a week or two of the green and gold.
Find a shirt at some point when it gets cold out there, or going to power through all year.
I think it's the Packers Corner faithful. They enjoy getting to bear witness to this on a week in, week out basis. So we're going to keep rolling with this. As you can see, I got a nice deep V going of a tan line Griffey. Been playing a lot of golf this summer. Handicap as low as it could possibly be. Best in my career. So we're having ourselves a summer, my friend.
Things are looking up. We'll get into the Packer talk on the other side of the intro, but I'm excited to kick off the season as we look towards year 3 of the Packers Corner. Back at it again here. We'll see you on the other side.
Winning isn't everything, but it's the only thing. In our business, there is no second place. Either you're first or you're last.
It was named after Vince Lombardi. You play in Green Bay. As important as it is to any other team, it means more to us.
When he walked into the meeting, he looked us right in the eye. He said, "Gentlemen, we're going to relentlessly chase perfection."
My first thought was, on any play with my arm strength, I may not let anybody know this, but my first thought was home run.
On every play.
On every play.
He did what? Fires into the end zone. Caught! Touchdown! No!
Well, seeing the McCown to Poole play, I'm feeling better already. That's got me in the right mindset here. Maybe that can vanquish some of the painful imagery we saw of Justin Fields traipsing all around the field for the Jets game there. But let's not dive too deep into that just yet here, Dad. I want to talk about the first-round draft pick we had, Matthew Golden, joining the squad. What are our expectations for him? You know, Mark Murphy made the big announcement when we had the draft back in April at Lambeau there that we bucked the trend since Javon Walker. First time we take a wide receiver, and I think, let's talk a little offseason news. I think that's probably the biggest movement to date.
You know, I'm grumpy, and I don't want to talk about something that's going to lift my spirits because I'm in a mood to kind of let loose and let it rip.
Well, you don't ever answer my questions anyway, so if you're feeling it, you let it go whichever direction that you want. We won't let it offend us.
All these years, I was pretty sure that Schmity was dressed from the waist down, but just now today, I got this terrible thought that he's dropping knives on his foot. He doesn't have any shoes on. I hope you're dressed the rest of the way, or that knife could do some damage. And make sure you don't stand up during the podcast here now. Just stay seated the way you are. MG22, MG double deuces, as we call him, got Bob Hayes' number. You'll remember Bob Hayes, the track star for the Dallas Cowboys. And
well, I hope he's a little bit more resilient in the cold weather than Bob Hayes, who was running around with his hands tucked in his pants in the ice bowl because he couldn't cut it. We're going to need more than that out of Matthew Golden.
Well, the coach Bisaccia said to look up Bob the Bullet Hayes because MG double deuces. Matthew Golden, for those of you with the golden boy with the golden fingers, who apparently does, oh, don't jinx him now. Good Lord. We bring in veterans from all over the league, Super Bowl champions, to teach our young players how to not drop the ball. And good Lord, Mecole Hardman isn't there for 3 weeks in training camp, and we've already taught him how to drop the ball. But see, now you got me going the other direction. But Matthew Golden was conspicuous by his sterling performance and the opportunities he was given in the ball game. That was definitely a highlight. So I'm going in a little bit different direction. I was going to end on the highlights, but you brought it up. He and Baron Sorrell, like the Sorrell boots, but they call him Sorrell from Texas. Got a chance to break down a little film on him, boys, in direct contradistinction to Mr. Van Ness. Mr. Sorrell actually has 3 or 4 pass rush moves already as a rookie. It's not supposed to take you 3 years to develop a repertoire of moves. So Baron Sorrell looking good on the outside. And yes, Matthew Golden, you boys might be able to jog your memories and tell me about this. When is the last time we had a number 1 draft pick come into camp and look like the guy? And look like he's going to have to start. We can't get him out of the starting lineup. I've been around a long time. I can't.
I was encouraged by the early goings with Jaire Alexander, who was probably the most prominent departure for us this year.
Right away. Took a few weeks, but yeah.
Well, do you think they'll have technically Matthew Golden be a starting receiver in the first couple weeks?
Yeah, especially if Christian Watson is out and Ontavian Wicks is out and Romeo Doubs can't catch a cold. Hopefully he'll get over that. Yeah, I think he's going to line up on the first play as a wideout and in 21 personnel or 11 personnel or whatever you want out there. Let's go.
I like it. I will hit the ground running. The guy I'm interested to compare his journey with there, Schmity, is Luther Burden for your Chicago Bears. Schmity, for any new viewers, Schmity, are we on the Bears bandwagon or the Packers bandwagon for this year?
We got to ride with the Packers, at least right now, Griffey. It's way too early in the season. I'm not going to let you get to me. We gotta stay strong. Gar and I here. I'm not going to let you needle me. Week 1 of podcast season. It cannot happen. I won't let it. I'm hyped. I am juiced about Matthew Golden and what he could possibly bring to this team, especially given how poorly some of these receivers looked in that preseason game. I think you got to let the best players play. And I think at this point, he's already proven that he's at the top of his class and might be the best one in that receiver room already.
Well, and on the other side of the ball, as we alluded to, Jaire Alexander gone. I guess I got to redo the. We're still in preseason form here, but I got to redo the bottom graphic there. Got to get Jaire grittying off of there, and maybe we'll have to put Matthew Golden. That might be the replacement there, 23 to 22. But on that side of the ball, Schmity, we got Nate Hobbs hurt. He's out there injuring players during the brief time that he was healthy. And then we got Keyshawn Nixon. We got my boy, Carrington Valentine. What do you think about the cornerback core there?
It is what I am worried about most. Looking across all the rooms in Green Bay, that has to be the biggest concern because you don't know who really is that second guy. And to say that Keyshawn is really like, I'm just not sold on that entire room. Like Hobbs comes back week 1, that'd be great. And then beyond Hobbs, like who really is the guy? It's going to be, I think it's going to be very fluid, honestly, as it should be. My biggest concern is with as many turnovers that we were able to create last year, if we get a half of those, I think we're singing a different tune about this defense. So that'll be something I'm very curious going into week 1, who decides to shine aside from Hobbs.
Dad, Schmity's most worried about the cornerbacks. I think I was most worried about the lack of ability to hit the net on family night by the quarterbacks the last couple of years here. Now, when they brought him in, from the 12-yard line, they were able to find the net in the back corner of the end zone. But Aaron Rodgers, remember 12 hitting the net there, Schmity, on family night? He would be throwing it from midfield. What do you think of that?
They did like free chicken McNuggets. I mean, every time he hit it, some of these people probably lived on Aaron Rodgers' golden arm for 3 months in the football season because he was just dialing up free chicken nuggets every day with hitting the basket because he could hit it from anywhere. Griffey, the guy was special man, near and dear to my heart. Yeah, Jordan Love. Can these guys just? They know the net's coming out for family night. They know the families are getting excited. Tommy, Susie, they're all getting ready for it. They gotta spike it. That should be last 5 minutes of practice on a daily, just whipping balls into that net.
Call up Mr. Rogers to make an appearance there, Schmidt. You're headed to Pittsburgh. I bet you're all geeked up for that. We'll save the Rogers talk. But Dad, we got a questionable right arm from Jordan Love, and now we got a questionable left hand too. What's going on with our quarterback?
Well, I just gotta say that hockey is the game where you put the biscuit in the basket. We're talking about football now. If you want to get me riled up, it's not about anything. By the way, if you want to see some interesting YouTube video about a quarterback who can't put the biscuit in the basket, you better watch Caleb Williams over there with the Bears. Oh my gosh, holy mackerel. He had the net about 10 yards away, and they had 4 little biscuit baskets over there, and he couldn't hit any of them 5 times in a row. So anyway, that's all.
Well, if this was mid-season, I would have the video queued up for you, but we'll get there.
Yeah, you're not quite you're in preseason form. Are we ready to start talking about the game yet, or where are we here? I'm so lathered up. I got drool coming out of both sides of my mouth. I can hardly chomping at the bit here.
Before he was hurt, what did you think of Mr. Love's performance against the New York Football Jets?
I'm not mad at Jordan at all. I'm mad at. Okay. Can I give you a couple of adjectives here? General adjectives: atrocious, abysmal, pitiful. Okay. Aaron Glenn brings in a team that won 5 games last year. Okay. And clearly he had his team ready to play football. Matt LaFleur showed up before 80,000 fans at Lambeau Field, and they all absolutely are owed a refund for the product that he allowed to pass for football. Now, I understand it's a preseason game. We're getting overexcited here. But you would think, what do we start in April with the mini camps, Schmity? Around about April after the draft, we start getting the guys in. We look at the film from last year. You say, okay, we got to eliminate our 3 and outs in the first quarter. All right. We got to eliminate drops. We got to play disciplined football. Stop making silly penalties. We go out on the field on 3rd and 1 in the first drive. I could have turned the TV off right there. They come out in shotgun formation, and I'm just praying, Lord, give me patience. This cannot be. And I look over, and Jordan Love looks to the right, and he spots Romeo Doubs in a one-on-one matchup with cheesehead cornerback over there. What's his name? The superstar.
Sauce Gardner.
The old saucy boy. And that's the matchup we're going to go for on 3rd and 1 on a slant pattern, and he absolutely breaks up the pass, knocks it out of Romeo's hands, and I could have turned off the television there. But no, I thought, okay, the defense has a chance to go ahead and get a 3 and out too. Is that allowed? Is that allowed in the NFL? That if your offense goes 3 and out, your defense can come on the field and get a 3? Apparently not in Green Bay. Jeff Hafley, maybe instead of trying to be the best disguised defense, you should just tackle and cover. How about tackle and cover and get off the field? No, we let Justin Fields go all the way. So I'm grumpy. I'm grouchy. I got three more adjectives here. These are a little more specific. And you tell me who this goes to. Undisciplined, uninspired, and incompetent. Now, who is responsible when the team shows up and elicits the description utilizing those adjectives?
The fan base. We didn't do enough for the boys.
Oh, my gosh. The guy who shaves that beard over there with God knows what, Frenchie LaFleur with his pate hat on. And I've loved the guy. Schmity, you know it. I've stood up for the guy through thick and thin. I've been there at his side, but I'm just going to say, and Griff, you know this, I've been parading around the office. You've been all on the Vikings and JJ McCarthy, and I said,
we'll get there.
We're going all the way.
But I do want to pull on that thread, Dad. And Schmity, to give you a little backdrop, we've accused you many a time on this show of being a bit of an emotional guy on a roller coaster on the yo-yo there. This guy in between us has been talking Super Bowl all summer to me.
Yo.
And now are you hearing what's coming? So, through your trials and tribulations there, Schmity, contemplating baths with the toasters, those sorts of things. Do you have any advice you can offer my father to bring him back to even level ground here?
Quickly before Schmity chimes in, I'm looking for Schmity's hairdryer because that's closer to the bathtub. We don't have to go to the kitchen to get a toaster. You just grab the hairdryer, throw it in there, for crying out loud, Schmity.
No, you want the industrial toast. If you're going to do the job, you want it done.
We're trying to channel this in the opposite direction here, Schmity.
I know.
I don't want logistics. I want,
statistics.
Yeah.
I think my dear friend Gar needs to, just pump the brakes ever so slightly. We are preseason week 1. We have a coach that other fan bases would say, yeah, let's see what this guy's about. I would take him for a spin. I'd like to see what he can do for a good stretch.
I'd like to take him for a spin too, Schmity. I'll tell you.
I mean,
he's at least top 4. He's at least top 4 in the NFC North if we don't count coordinators.
Right. Let's, guys, please. Now, he came in and tried to meld the locker room. He has a MVP Hall of Famer quarterback, tries to figure it out with on the fly. He does a really good job of that. Okay. They win a lot of good football games. We were arguably the best team for quite a good period of time in those couple of years. Everyone was looking at us. So there's ability there. Now, there's been a lot of questionable things that we've talked about on Packers Corner, even the last season, and how he's managed Jaire Alexander, for example. So there's definitely it's warranted to decide is it the hairdryer or the toaster at times. But we're preseason week 1. We need to calm down. Okay, maybe unbutton one of those from Gar's shirt there.
Is that what it takes? Okay.
Just a little bit. He doesn't. I don't expect this out of him just yet. But goodness gracious, maybe we're 8-0 and it's a shirtless pod. That would really make me excited. So it's a roller coaster ride. This definitely the media can do that to you too. Right now we think Matthew Golden's the best wide receiver to ever play the game of football, and so we gotta watch a little more tape. Watch when it actually comes down to it, and we got meaningful football here in less than a month. Then we can start to diagnose exactly what we're all about.
Well, and what do you look forward towards the next matchup here, Dad? What are we're not going to have Jordan Love out there. We know that for sure now. What are we going to do to lay the foundation for hopefully a successful season here? What's that going to take next week's preseason game?
Well, my head is spinning a little bit here. I just thought, I don't know what to think. I got Schmity trying to calm me down and being the voice of reason when it's been the other way around every other time. And so it's preseason.
I tried to get you looking ahead. I thought we could channel your focus that direction. I thought we had it.
I am looking ahead. Here's Matt LaFleur. Okay, this is you and me, eye to eye. Okay, closed circuit, Coach LaFleur. I have stood up for you. I loved you through thick and thin. You have now caused me to question, just as you insinuated, Griff, where does he rate in the NFC North hierarchy as coaches? I'm not so sure as I sit here right now, and this is Coach LaFleur, what you got to prove wrong, that he isn't the fourth best coach in the division. I mean, he's not better than Dan Campbell. We know that for sure.
Maybe X's and O's, but he's certainly not a leader of men in the same way.
We need somebody who's going to get the team to play disciplined and stop dropping the ball and stop making stupid penalties, show up inspired and ready to play. Nobody does that better than Dan Campbell, okay? His right-hand man was Ben Johnson. He's now with the Bears. And Ben Johnson was shooting his mouth off pretty good, Matt LaFleur, about enjoying beating you. So, you got that to go for you. And Kevin O'Connell over there with Minnesota, KOC, you're trying to tell me for sure Matt LaFleur's better than him?
No, I'd for sure tell you KOC's better, and it's not particularly close.
Coach LaFleur, I want you to prove me wrong. I want you to make me eat crow. And you can do that in a very simple fashion. You go out in the first ball game of the year, and you go ahead and you beat the Detroit Lions at home. You turn around on 4 days rest on a Thursday, and you take care of Washington, and all will be forgiven and forgotten, and this little episode will be over. But I have serious questions whether that can happen. So I don't know if he has it. I don't know if he has the chutzpah. I don't know if he has it deep down inside to be the kind of disciplinarian that's needed to get these guys to show up and play disciplined football. So let's just see it. Let's just see it going forward. There's nothing you can do between now and the regular season that's gonna move me.
To start a career, Matt LaFleur is one of the winningest coaches all time. He was right up there after the couple 13-3 seasons. But to hear it from you or to hear it from my grandmother, Nana, she thinks he might be better suited to be a women's high school tennis coach. Schmity, what's going on with the Christensen crew here? Are we losing it? Are we not appreciating this Coach LaFleur enough?
Shout out, Nana. We need to recognize, again, you can look around the rest of the league and doing the comparisons of the have and have-nots. We have something in Matt LaFleur. He's a viable football coach. We question some of the leadership abilities at times with some of these locker room kerfuffles that have come up in past. But X's and O's, as you said, Griffey, I mean, has to be one of the best. We're in a division with Ben Johnson and O'Connell. We need someone that is as sound as both of those head coaches in the X's and O's department, and we had that in Matt LaFleur. He's brought on a Halfley who is guys. I mean, last year it was really exciting to see us take the ball away a bunch. Maybe we didn't get to the quarterback so much as we wanted to, but it was at least an exciting defense, and that's at Matt's decision. Okay, so I'm okay with Matt. I know we've come at him, at least I have in the past. Gar's been a pretty big sympathizer for the man. And so to see Gar and I do this role reversal is quite something. But I'm okay with Matt. Matt brought a lot of good years. You do get some leniency. I know there's some ownership groups, and because that we're owned by the likes of you and I, that are a little quick on the trigger to oust some of these coaches that aren't performing. Matt's performing. You can't say that he isn't. Is he up to our expectations? Maybe not. Okay, the Christensen family, they would maybe want to look elsewhere. already. But in the shirtless Packer fans around the world, I think we'd want to see him stick around and give him another chance for a couple more seasons. Jordan Love, I guess, is the linchpin to this. If Jordan really regresses here, then I think that's when you start to have the conversation. So let's see Jordan play really bad football, and then we can talk about Matt.
Well, and to that end, I think I'd send Jordan Love a first-round draft pick and Matt LaFleur over across the border for Kevin O'Connell and J.J. McCarthy.
Oh, my.
Here we go, Schmity.
Who's feeding you these things? Is this
with all summer long?
Is this like an ESPN thing that you're doing? Wait. Are we getting extra clicks because of that?
ESPN? What do you mean?
Would they they're just floating stuff like this out in the ether? They'd bring
no. This is
up?
just a dream scenario for me. I think that would set us up for long-term success.
Oh, good riddance with you. Go back to your delegating. We're like Gar and myself handle the big brain ideas.
You don't want any opinions from the moderator here?
No.
Well, how about our discussion on Caleb Williams last year, Schmity? How did my prognostication go? In fact, I think you're on thin ice with any of the regular viewers of Packers Corner. You had the Chicago Bears winning the division a year ago. You had Caleb Williams throwing for 4,000 yards, which no Bears quarterback has ever done, and hopefully they never will. I think my quarterback evaluation and prognostication has been pretty well spot on in recent years here. I was all over Jaden Daniels, of course. I'm very excited to see Michael Penix this year, but I am also excited to see what J.J. McCarthy has in the tank. Unfortunately, he's going to be wearing purple. That's the only angst I have about that situation. Dad, you went, as we talked about, from thinking... Schmity, I better let you respond to that before I dive in. I put you on blast there. You got to have your own word there, I suppose.
Maybe I was 1 year early on the party here. Now, now you got a Ben Johnson, okay, and now you got an elite arm in Caleb Williams. As you are with Penix, I am excited to see what Mr. Caleb can do and what color some of his nails, what his choices for the season. I heard that might be a cool thing. So I'm looking for his fits, his outfits that he wears to the into the stadium. Maybe
his
something
handbag
that matches with his handbag and his fingernails, because it's all about look good, feel good in this game of football. It matters. And so now you got a good play caller. So I'm excited about Mr. Williams.
You're going down with that chip. Schmity, I'll tell you right now, and I told you a year ago, it's not happening for that guy. Anyways, let's move on. Packers Corner, but we should talk a little Minnesota Vikings here, Dad, and your takes on them juxtaposed with the Super Bowl aspirations you had for the Packers, a week ago here.
Okay, this ruse has gone on long enough. This was simply my tough love motivational technique to get Coach LaFleur to get the most out of himself. And I expect that you're going to see that he's going to take this to heart, and he's going to put himself in a position now to get this team where it needs to be. So every now and then you got to put your foot down, draw a line in the sand. Coach, you need to do that with your receivers and your team about playing discipline. Why don't you get a nice chart up in the locker room about who drops the ball and who doesn't? We'll have a pizza party for the guy with the least drops. We'll tape the other guy to the field goal post at the end of the week, and then we'll get rid of these drops problems. And, thank God, at least in Green Bay, we don't have painted fingernails. What is this here? I got one guy. Hold it. Which way is he? One guy for the Vikings, the other guy for the Bears, and it says
we just need a Lions fan
on the bottom here. And I'm the only one holding up for the back. We don't have any girly men cheerleaders. We don't have any painted fingernails and purses. So, boys, we're going to be just fine. And I'm pretty soon I'll be back in Euphoria like I was, saying get your Super Bowl tickets, and everything will be right with the world. And J.J. McCarthy, good Lord, the best quarterback on that team is probably the Minnesota kid, the Gopher. What would that kid from Minnesota have done for Michigan last year if he was their starting quarterback? They would have had the exact same record. I'm telling you right now. There isn't any daylight between Max Brosmer and J.J. McCarthy. I'm telling you right here, and you heard it first. And the only thing I would say is we can release Sean Clifford. Goodbye, good night, good riddance. And as soon as we get a chance, move that Max Brosmer right over to our practice squad, and we'll be in tall cotton.
Well, I in all seriousness wouldn't mind seeing Max Brosmer either. Well, I wouldn't mind seeing J.J. McCarthy either. But Max Brosmer is a potential third string backup for the Packers. I not only am I a little nervous about Jordan Love. We saw a little magic from Malik Willis last year. But it looked rough out there this week. Did we get all that we could out of him? Should we have traded high, Schmity?
We just with our situation last year, I don't think it was possible, right? Like we needed him actually.
Well, in the off season here.
Games. Clifford? Did he just ascend to?
We trade Malik Willis. We trade Malik Willis. We get a third round draft pick or whatever the case might have been, and we go and draft Max Brosmer, who went undrafted. How about that scenario?
We're speaking sense that there was a suitor
Graham
for
Mertz,
Malik
if
Willis.
that's more your style.
No, Graham Mertz.
The scenario was Malik Willis, you get a 4th and a 7th, a 5th and a 7th round pick for him. Are you excited that that's what the outcome was? I don't know. We were talking that we'd get a second.
We'll probably get a
pick
starting O-lineman with the way
games.
Goody snaps up those mid-round draft picks.
Sure. That's true. That we could play that game, but I think sadly, come week 1. Now this is non-throwing hand, but we might just be needing Malik Willis week 1 already. So, and that's a guy that's already won us football games. So I'm still glad that he's on our football team, and you should be too, because I don't know what other option. I don't think Mr. Clifford can run the offense as we would want. So Malik Willis needs to be on this football club beginning the season.
Well, most of all, I'm just excited to be back here with you guys. We're getting close. The moment is upon us. We have a little bit of preseason anxiety here and so forth. But I'm excited for things to kick off for real. Our game plan, we're thinking here, Dad. Let's think out loud. You got a big fishing trip up north, huh? So we're going to take a week off. We'll break things down after the 3rd preseason game. And then we'll throw out some preseason predictions. We'll talk division. We'll talk maybe perhaps a little fantasy football. Sneak that in. Schmity, the all-time worst fantasy performance of all time. I'm in 3 leagues with the guy. I don't know if you won 3 games in aggregate across 3 leagues. So, it's kind of like, have you seen the inverse Kramer for the stock market to maximize your wins? They got the guy making all his prognostications. We need the inverse Schmity for fantasy takes. Whatever he says, go and do the opposite. We'll dive into that. Anything else for this week you want to get off your chest? Because it's going to be a long couple weeks in August here. It always is as we approach September.
Football's back, Griffey. Football is back. Once we see that one leaf, the color change, it'll get me real excited. We're starting to hear the pads pop a little bit. Get your hands on a set of shoulder pads. There's nothing like it.
Do you feel like you need to strap the chin strap up and throw the helmet on and run out through a tunnel there, Schmitty?
I'm juiced. I saw that Antonio Freeman catch. Like you saw the eyes of Devontae. It's Green Bay Packers football. It's here. I'm really excited. I'm glad that we're back. Gar's going to catch us 9 muskies this coming week. We'll get a recap of that, and then we're hitting the ground running. You're getting Packers Corner. You got the Beta Boys in front of you. All of our listeners are alphas. I'm real excited for what this season beholds.
For the channel, Schmitty, maybe fantasy, maybe Madden. Do we have to have a little Madden, gambit for the season here? We could post that up on the channel here. Maybe we'll have to come up with a wager for a season-long Madden series. I'm up 1-0 to start, in case anybody was wondering.
There we go. That was Packers preseason week 1. That game does not count. And yes, I look forward. That's a little extra content we can provide the listeners this coming season as you and I square off as many times as we possibly can. And maybe we get some listeners. We play some listeners too if they want to get their butts whooped.
That could be a fun way to go about it. Dad, what do you have? Well, first of all, good luck up north. You gonna reel the big boy into the boat there, or the big gal? I suppose the muskies. It's the females.
Big girl, the big girls. Yep, we're gonna be fishing in the dark moon. We'll fish them in the weeds. We'll fish them on the rocks. We'll fish them with the bucktails. We'll fish them with the swim baits. We'll fish them with the tube bait, well, whatever it takes, 220, 221, whatever we got to do.
This is an international podcast, if you remember Schmity tuning in or sending out his message from Salzburg, Austria there.
I remember. So let me get Packer faithful a little riled up. Let me say a couple names here. How about Xavier McKinney? How about Edgerrin Cooper? How about Josh Jacobs? How about Matthew Golden? How about Jordan Love? Huh?
Tucker Kraft?
Lucas Van Ness coming off the edge with a little bit of force now. Baron Sorrell with all those pass rushing moves. Okay, and so it's
Carrington Valentine, my boy.
Right, Carrington Valentine we love now, and Jordan Love is the most underestimated quarterback in the NFL. They got him ranked over there, something like 13th or 14th. The guy was in the top 7 in DVOA. He was number 5 in passer rating, and he's underappreciated. If you extrapolated his statistics for the 3 games that he missed, he would add same thing as he had the first year: 30 touchdowns, 4,000 yards, 11 picks for a second-year starter. Hold on to your horses. Get your popcorn out. It's going to be a show once this thing gets rolling. Now that I got the coach pointed in the right direction, clearly I lit a fire under his rear end, and it's going to be go time. Just go on a slow simmer while I take the week off in Canada, get up there and commune with nature and align with the stars. We'll be back in a couple weeks, and we'll get you boys ready for some football.
You got to have some new cheeses prepared for us here this year, Dad.
Halloumi.
Oh, you were ready to go.
Halloumi. We learned a new one. I'll tell you all about it later. Let's not spoil it now. But we.
All right. Where
is it? It's right here.
There you go.
I got the halloumi.
Leave that one in the chamber for the regular season. That's just a sneak preview.
Locked and loaded.
Well, I love it. Great to be with you, gentlemen. Welcome to the 2025 NFL season. We're just about there. We'll see you in a couple weeks.
Love you all.